Well, as seems to be a little commonplace as of late, I hope you'll afford me a pre-script on this video. If you don't want to watch any of this, there's a timestamp in the video description, skip to that time, or just don't watch the video at all, but there's a couple of things that I definitely need to address. Okay, to say this part of the video did not turn out the way that I had hoped would have been a drastic understatement, so I'm re-recording it. That's why the quality and the image has sort of changed, because I'm using a different camcorder to do it. Anyway, what I wanted to get into were two different things. Number one has to do with the video quality. I don't upload in high definition, and it's a sore point with some of my viewers, apparently, because I get a lot of comments asking me why X was not recorded in high definition. Why don't you record in high definition? HD is so much better, blah blah blah. Well, I don't watch YouTube in high definition, and I probably never will, because frankly, with the size of the YouTube video window, high definition versus standard definition makes absolutely no difference. If you're watching in full screen, it does make a difference, but at that point, it's not demanding that I make higher quality videos, it's demanding better upscalers in your monitors from the monitor manufacturer. And also demanding that YouTube not deliberately nerf the quality of standard def video. It's pretty obvious that they do so. So that's why I record with these old cameras, and furthermore, it takes up a lot less space to record in standard def. It's a lot less rendering time, even on the new system over there. But the big thing really is just the amount of space that it does not take up to record in standard definition. So that's one thing. The second thing was also very simple. I do not sell things through YouTube. A lot of people ask me on videos, can you sell me X? Or is Y for sale? Or will you sell me something? Can I have something? And the answer is going to be no. However, I am making one exception in this case. And it's a pretty big exception, and it's got some qualifications that come along with it. But I want this thing out of here. Down here is an HP D530 CMT. You can see here, hopefully you can see it, at least most of it. And I want this thing gone. My asking price is $10, but of course I am willing to negotiate a little bit. There's no RAM, there is no floppy drive, there is no hard drive, and the optical drive that's in it right now promptly blew a tray belt after I put it in, so the optical drive does not work. Cables are included. It's got a 2.66 gigahertz socket 478 Pentium 4, but the motherboard's no good. Every capacitor on the board is blown, and as a result, the RAM subsystem is unstable, and as a result, the whole system is unstable, with frequent crashes, lockups, and other interesting problems, most notably video glitches. Some of them have showed up in previous videos, or maybe not. It depends upon whether or not it's been uploaded by the time you see this, which it probably won't have been. That said, the qualifications are as follows. Number one is that I'm not shipping it. Local pickup only. Why? Well, it's not lightweight, and I don't have a box that I can ship it in, and I'm not going to buy a box and all the packaging material and send it, and it would be expensive anyway, especially if it's got to go over the border. Shipping is not cheap, so I won't be shipping it. So if you want it, you better come and get it. Second, I'm keeping it for 2 weeks. After you're watching, or after this video is uploaded, I'm keeping it for 2 weeks after that. So I will put it, today's the 26th of January, that would put it about maybe middle of February, somewhere around there. After that point, I'm going to strip it, I'm going to get rid of it. It's going to the scrapyard, because it's not reusable, the case isn't reusable, the motherboard is junk, it's only a socket 478, I don't have the time or patience. I got other socket 478 systems sitting at work right now that I could use to replace this. So, all of that. If, by some chance, you want it, but you can't pick it up by the middle of February, let me know. I am willing to hang on to it for a little bit longer if somebody wants it. But if nobody speaks up, it's disappearing by the middle of February. Alright, pre-scripts out of the way. Time to get on to the actual subject. This is the MBVLSI-168 286 system. If you're just tuning in and you don't know what the system is, there's a video linked in the video description. That is your requisite watching. I'm not going to be going over it again in this video because it'll take way too long, and I don't really have way too long. In fact, I should really be in bed right now because I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is in however many hours it's in, I don't actually know. And I'm not really willing to do math at this late hours, so there you go. But what we're going to do in this video, if you remember, in the previous video, it has this. It was a compact floppy drive installed, 5¼ inch. I think it's a 1.2 meg, and the drive does not work. Or it did work for a little bit, and then it stopped working. That drive is coming out, and what I got, if I can actually manage to get it out of this bag, which I hope I can. I got it in there, but it was fairly difficult to get in there. Of course, it was fairly easy to get it out just now. But I have another 5¼ inch floppy drive. I'm hoping that it is also a 1.2 meg. It's a Matsushita. I don't really see a model on it. Don't think it really matters. I don't know if it even works. I do know it will seek. It passes the seek test, or at least it did. So I guess we're going to find out in this video if it actually happens to work. Okay, wow. Okay, it's actually installed now. That took effort. I'm not really sure why it did so, but it did. So, it's in place. Looks pretty good, actually. I mean, it's a little less yellowed than the faceplate is, but I can discount that. That's not too bad. Hope it still works. So let me get it hooked up and we'll have a look. Get to find out. Okay, are we going to take bets on this one? There's no hiding from it now. Everything is ready to go. Except I think I forgot to plug the monitor in. Yep, I forgot to plug in the monitor. Like a boss. That's definitely a little more promising. Alright, take two with the monitor this time. Well, that's promising. All 1 megabyte of memory. So we'll push F1. It will probably ask us to go into setup. So we'll put it into setup. It looks like it actually detected the drive properly. I don't remember the parameters in the drive. I should probably remember them. I'm going to guess them. So let's see. I don't remember how to do that. There we go. I remember right, it was 820 cylinders, 6 heads. I don't remember what the right precompensation was. I'm just going to put it in as such. 820 is last cylinder. And 17 sectors per track. Wow. I think I got it bang on. 41 megabytes, that's what it is. Well, it's amazing what you don't know that you remember. Okay, primary display is VGA. Keyboard is installed. Everything there should be good. So we'll push yes on that. I'll see if I can find my boot disk without breaking the camera's positioning. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's our boot disk. Something tells me this drive is not much better, but I'm going to give it a shot. Alright. Control-Alt-Delete. Let's see if it works. I got goosebumps. Now that's somewhat promising. Aha! It does work, somewhat. At least. Okay. Let's run fdisk, if we can. And we'll see if our partition is actually set up. Looks like it is. So we'll escape out of that, and we'll see if we can actually format it. If I go to C, it'll say, oh, hold on. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it's not working. Okay. Go back into F-disk. Okay, well, that was interesting. I created the partition manually, and it appears as though that managed to get it to work. I was really thinking I would have made that a system drive. Oh well. Of course, this isn't exactly a very fast process. Got a couple of things here that I could probably try and put on the system right now. Such as the PC-DOS 5. I got a couple actually, these probably won't even run there for PC-DOS 5. This is only PC-DOS 3.2, so very primitive. But it's what I happen to have. Might see if I can maybe get a newer version of DOS out of a system and work. And, because I know that there is a machine with a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive that's running DOS 6. Although I don't know if I really want to put DOS 6 on something like this. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. I'm also going to find out if this thing is actually going to finish the format here in a little bit. Or if the system will lock up, because I know it locked up while it was, well, I think that was as a result of my toggling the turbo switch while it was going through its test. I guess we'll find out. Alright, looks like 20 kilobytes in bad sectors, which makes sense. There are bad sectors on this drive. So now, let me see here. Should be able to copy the contents over. But if I remember right, I need to sys. I need to make C a system drive because I did not do it, because I'm a dork, during the format process. Okay, system transferred. This actually has Xcopy on it, which is interesting. So we'll just copy everything from A to C. Reading source files. Very slowly. It's only got 1 meg of RAM to read them into, too. Definitely not fast, assuming it's actually working. Ooh, that wasn't good. Looks like it worked, though. So, theoretically, what I can do now, if I go to C, all the data is there. So I should be able to remove this floppy from the drive and reboot the machine. And with any luck, it will boot into DOS. Just like that. Wow, that was really fast. Cool. It's working. That is awesome. Alright, so I'm going to probably try and install a couple things now. Or at least have a look at some of these disks. Now that I've got DOS installed. PC-DOS utilities are not going to work. I know that already because, well, the program ran, but I don't think that the techniques and utilities are going to work. I'm going to try and install it anyway because you only live once and I like to live dangerously. But, go ahead and we'll give them a shot. This is disc 1 of 2. type ZD press. This is what it claimed. So let's see. Required space 897, and total required 920. Free space is huge. Yeah, I think we've got more than enough space for this. I'm going to push F3. Destination path does not exist. Create it. I better remove that before it tries to boot from it, but I did find that some of the utilities do in fact work. Now I wonder, I'm very curious about this. I think it would actually accept a year 2000 date, so let's try and put one in. Current time is that. Well, that's not quite true. Yep, it will actually accept it. Cool. Look at that. Year 2000 date, ahoy. I bet they didn't really think that would ever happen, but it's nice to see that it works. Go to the DOS 5 util directory, and it kind of threw me through a loop for a little bit because you'll notice that it doesn't actually specify what directory you're in. That's just the way it was back then. Some of these utilities will work. Actually, I think all of them will work. There's a reboot.com in there, that's pretty cool. Nuke.com. I wish there was a listing that told you what these did. Let's go for CPU type. That works. CPU is an 80286, which is the case. Ah, that sucks. Other than that, I don't think there's any... Other than one, I don't think there's any that is really worth noting, except for one, like I mentioned, and that is this one right here. You may see it. Park.com. Now these days, all hard drives do what's called auto parking. That is, they take their head stack and they put it into an area of the drive that's marked off, reserved. It's usually the landing zone. It's usually the last cylinder on the drive. And they do that for transporting purposes, because you don't want the head stack to be loose around in the drive, floating around while it's being transported. That's a great way to damage your drive. Older drives didn't do that. This one does. If I turn the machine off, you'll be able to hear the auto parking in action, but this utility, Park.com, is one way to park your hard drive heads. As you can see right there. And we'll go ahead and turn the machine off. The only other thing I have here is Microsoft Word for Windows. I know I won't be able to install it, so I'm just going to try the self-running demonstration, see if that'll run under DOS. If the disk is still good. Because I don't actually know. It looks like it is. So, demo. One moment, please. I think I've run this demo before, to be honest. Why are you not focusing? Demo by Accent Software. You can pause the video if you'd like to read any of this stuff. I'm of course going to let the demo run by, assuming it'll work. Back when what you see is what you get was a big deal. Nowadays we take it for granted. What that means is that when you print something off on your printer, it shows up exactly as it does on the screen. I might actually make this into a separate video. I think I've already showed this though, so maybe I won't. But I think I'll probably make this a separate video. So I'm gonna conclude it there. I don't really have anything else to show you. I just replaced the floppy drive. So we'll go ahead and we'll quit out of it. And what I might actually do, now that the camera is going wild with the focus... Oh, it looks like my white balance has changed. Give me a minute. I'm sorry, not white balance, the exposure. Okay. If I make a directory called demo, I can go copy everything to C demo. Just like that. But there is one more thing I wanted to try and do. And that was to install a 3.5-inch floppy. Now, I don't know if that's going to work, because I know that the system would not let me use a 3.5-inch floppy previously. It just wouldn't work. It would lock the system up on post, so... But that would be a lot more useful to use a 3.5-inch, because I don't have a lot of software on 5.25-inch floppy, as you can tell. Okay, 3.5-inch drive is installed. I did that off camera, because it was actually one hell of a pain in the ass to install that, but it's installed. Hopefully it's cabled up correctly. I guess we're going to find out right now. Now, one of the drives made a very unhappy noise. I can't bypass the memory test. I do want... Well, they did work. It looks like it's lost all its CMOS settings. And the red light on that other drive is on solid. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if this actually does support 3.5-inch drives. Okay. Well, the light went out, so let's try and set that appropriately. It's a 1.44 meg, 3.5-inch drive. I almost wonder, well, it keeps the hard drive settings, so I... Six heads. No rate precompensation. Probably should actually look up the specs on this drive and set the landing zone and everything correctly. But, I'm going to do that. Write data to CMOS. And we'll see. If we go ahead in there, we can see A and B do show up. So, let's give this a shot. Let's find a 1.44 meg floppy. I wonder if DOS 3 would actually support those. So we'll just put in a random disk and see if the system will actually accept it. Well, that's promising. It says there's nothing on it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to format it. I gotta go back to C and format it. Insert new diskette for drive B and strike enter when ready. That's working. I missed it. It made a rather unhappy noise. Probably a bad sector. Oh, there it goes. Yes, this disc is not necessarily in the best of shape. Okay, well... it did actually get through a format. Okay. Let's give this a shot. So now put in a line. You also get to hear the lovely IBM Model M keyboard in action. Okay, so there's that. So we'll do Control Z and enter. That didn't work. No, that's not working. Control C works though. So, alright. E, that should save it. Now, go back to B, type the file out. And it works, just as it's supposed to. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the video. I can't really think of much else to demonstrate, so thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then...